Greetings all, Zechs here, yet again. Well, you can tell by my complexion, I'm kind of exhausted right now. It's about 11 o'clock. But I'm going to continue to soldier on and just do this review because I promised you all I'd do 13 movies. I've done this so far. I'm going to keep going until I can. And if I'm going to post it for 13 days. There'll be 13 movies in 13 days, no matter what I do. So today's movie is The Keep. Now, the old doctor, the outhouse member on the forums, has been begging me to do this movie, so I finally caved and actually looked at this movie finally. It's a very curious movie. I mean, I heard about this movie before. This movie has a big, huge cult following to it, pretty much. I guess it does. The old doctor recommended it to me. A couple of people I knew about this movie. I never knew about this movie that much. But I'm surprised I shouldn't have. I should have known this for this movie because it has freaking Gabriel Bryan in it. It has Scott Glenn in it. It has Jordan Provich in it. It has Robert Prosky in it. And freaking Ian McKellen's in the movie too. Hell, there's a girl from 24, the season 4 bitch. Uber bitch, sorry. But she was really nasty. And she shows up in this movie too. So it's like, oh my god, these all these people I know. How the hell did I know about this movie before? And they top it all off. It's directed by Michael Mann in one of those, probably supposedly his second movie he's ever done. So it's like, okay, I have to see this movie. I have to do it. I have to see it. And I saw it, and it's not bad. I mean, there are flaws to it. Oh god, there's flaws. But it's a Michael Mann film, so you know it's well shot. It's well directed. But you could tell there's something missing. And what was told to me by the old doctor was that the studios just cut this movie to ribbons. It was a 3-hour movie originally, and it was made to 9 minutes, and it does show because I mean, even though there's great emotional characters in here, I mean, some of them you only get a tease of, and unfortunately that's Scott Glenn's character. I mean, he just shows up, does his thing, fucks Uber Richard 24. Because he's Scott Glenn, goddamn, he can do whatever the hell he wants. But yeah, I mean, his character is kind of meh, and I mean, he's a great, fantastic actor. And you get to see that a lot of his stuff is cut out. I mean, I looked online too and saw a couple of the scenes that were cut and were put out that were out on YouTube. And I mean, this movie could be a good movie. I'm surprised that Warner Brothers or where the hell studio that owns this ever got. It's again, I'm exhausted, so I'm trying to remember where I saw this yesterday. I'm trying to go my notes from my paper. So that's my thought. But oh yeah, now I remember. I mean, you see there's a good movie in here, but you see the flaws, and the flaws are all fixed in the studio. And I'm surprised this hasn't been released on Blu-ray yet. I guess supposedly, if I remember the doctor's link he gave me, he says that pretty much the studio, man does this is about so this movie does not exist in his universe now. And given that when I seen this movie, I can understand why. I mean, this is a good shot movie, but you could tell something got happened between behind the scenes. And if I was man, I'd be pissed too, because it seems like it's a very good movie, but the official product not really good, but you could see something there. And it's a really good movie in the fact that you could see, I mean, the cinematography is wonderful, the direction is wonderful, just that it's missing things. It's like a puzzle. I mean, you have to find the pieces of this puzzle, or put the, like read the pieces of the puzzle up that are out, not part of the movie, but around on the web. Find like I looked up the YouTube alternate ending, which isn't bad. I mean, it makes, I mean, it's a more happier ending, but I don't know. I mean, I love the creature design in this. I love that it's not a typical horror thing. I mean, also freaking has Nazis in it. And anytime the Nazis die, horrible deaths and their own fuck ups because it's even better than that, and it's good. I mean, even better. Yeah, Jordan Provich played a stereotypical Nazi. If I looked it up right, this second is the first movie after Das Boot, and that's kind of like, I feel sad for the poor guy. Like, first movie, yeah, why don't you play Nazi again? Oh, come on! I had to play Nazi again because you were so damn good at it. All right. And he's a damn good actor. I mean, he's probably my favorite part of this movie, as playing a German officer, just like kind of a nice guy, and gets his like troops kind of fuck up by ravaging this church and unleash the demon or golem or whatever the heck that is. And pretty much he's like, okay, I'm on my own here, and his superior officer, SS guy played by Gabriel Byrne, total asshole. He's like, okay, it's the villagers, it's this, it's that, and Byrne's like, no, I don't think so. And I kind of was hoping to get more of this character, but when we get him, he's a very, I mean, he just acts the hell out of it. That's pretty much the big disappointment of this film. Is this movie has a great performance from Jordan Perovich, and you can't, I mean, it's buried because of studio pursuit Michael Mann in the studio. And it pisses me off that this movie looks very good, and this is the quality of the movie I saw us on was horrible, just awful. And supposedly it's also due to thanks to the old doctor again. It's because of a Laserdisc print, and this just never has been fully converted to Blu-ray again because Michael Mann doesn't want this movie out. So it's kind of interesting seeing how this movie, like in this day and age where you have Sorcerer, William Franken's Sorcerer come out, you have just recently another horror movie scenario, you have the producer's cut of Halloween 6 that was always like a cult following, only the like people, the hardcore Halloween fans or go to convention and kind of thing. Well, look at this, like Halloween 6, the producer's cut? Oh, I never knew about that. So yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that like this type of movie hasn't gotten more due and more acclaim. Not that matters. That man hasn't just like pretty much said, "I want to see my vision of this movie come to pass." And given he has so much power now in Hollywood, why hasn't he done that? I mean, freaking Richard Donner got his freaking cut of Superman 2, and Ridley Scott got his with Blade Runner. Freaking, like, you get this for the keep? What the fuck? I mean, what the hell? Is it really that much of a pissing match between Warner Brothers and him? I mean, the performance, I mean, like I said in the movie, this movie's not bad. I mean, performances are all over the place. I mean, everybody's good, just that you can tell something's missing. I mean, you're like, one moment Scott Glenn appears and meets the Ian McKellen's scientist daughter, and next month he's screwing the hell out of her. But where's the love story? I mean, is it because he's gives her a glare and she's all, oh, I gotta fuck this person? It's just a weird story, but you could make up in your mind how good it is, but that's not something. I mean, that's the movie's fault, but I mean that's the studio's fault. I mean, but you can tell there's a good movie in there. I mean, who knows? Maybe a couple of years from now, if freaking Richard Donner can get his Superman cut, if Halloween 6 can get their Truce's cut finally out, maybe this will come out eventually. Who knows? I mean, past came out in '83, past 30 years for this, so much for that. But I got a feeling probably eventually, somehow, some way, either real life fans or someone, maybe I'll finally reland. Because I mean, this is the only film of his I think that hasn't gotten that much of attention because of him, and pretty much it's something of a crime, really. I mean, this is a really good film done by him, and I would really like to see that 3-hour cut of his, because it probably would be amazing to see. And excuse me. And I just wish you could just have more. I mean, the only reason I would give this a 3 out of 5 is because of the performances and direction and the cinematography and just the effects. I mean, they're somewhat dated, but they're awesomely freaking shot. And I mean, there's also the score too. I mean, Tangerine Dream, freaking Blade Runner soundtrack again, and Sorcerer. I mean, you can't get wrong though at that people who make that award. And supposedly, even more thanks to Old Doctor again, that score, his score is not even the original score of this film. So I'm curious, like, okay, what's the real score of the film sound like then? This is just the fake one, or the, I don't know, third version of the score. I think it's the third version. I don't know. I gotta look up. I don't know. I'm lost right now. But so, The Keep. It's a good film, but there's a lot of holes to it. I mean, it's a film you enjoy only if you like read the book, you piece together all the missing parts to it that's online, and you look at the film for the fact that it's a mess, but it's a mess that's not due to the director, it's due to the studio, and that there's probably a good cut of this film somewhere out there, and hope maybe one day that this will not be kept, ironically enough, from the audience evermore. And hopefully we'll get a better film of this. I mean, this is not a bad film. I kind of want to see a better version of this film. I wish I had a better version of this film, but nope. I guess we'll have to do with this quality until something happens. And that's all I'm going to say. Till next video. Adios.